Welcome to the No Guilt Fangirls podcast, where liking what you like is never a bad thing. Here's your host and head fangirl in charge, Patty Holiday.
Hey y'all, welcome to the No Guilt Fangirls podcast. I'm Patty Holiday, your head fangirl in charge, and this is the daily-ish for August 24th, 2019. And yes, I'm still at D23 Expo. Today I am joined by my friend, Sarah Bergman.
Hey.
Sarah came all the way out to spend D23 Expo with me, and then I haven't seen her at all. The entire time. I'm sorry, Sarah. I've been working.
I've been running into people that I know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here with Patty, and, list off all my friends that are here, and I'm like, but they're all really big deals, so they go and, go do all this stuff, and I'm just a horn beaker walking around.
Yeah, we have media tickets, and that just allows us to do things a little bit differently. They
don't have to sleep in line.
We don't have to sleep in line this year. Yes. So, goals, guys, it happened. So anyway, but then it just turned out that I didn't get to spend a lot of time with Sarah. But we're having a little bit of time today. Yes, we have some time coming up.
We've got some more days.
We do. Grabbed Sarah and said, I want to hear your experience because it has been so different from mine at this D23 Expo since, first of all, you don't have the press pass that I'm so thankful to have right now.
No golden ticket.
It's not a golden ticket.
I'm giving her a hard time. I'm totally giving her a hard time.
But you're here, and plus it's brand new for you. You've never been to a D23 Expo before, right?
Correct. My first year, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't do any research. I went into this blindly, so...
Frankly, she was hoping that I would just tell her where to go and what to do.
Yeah, and then she didn't.
I'm like, did you listen to my podcast?
Busted.
Right? Anywho. So today this was Saturday, and Saturday has been a big deal, at least for me. It was the big movie studio day, so I'm going to run through some of the studio news just real quick as far as what they threw out at us, because it was a lot, and my brain is kind of on overload. Sarah was not in that panel.
Correct.
So, Sarah, if you have any questions, speak up, ask them.
I'll interrupt you.
Okay. That works. All right, so it started off, Alan Horn came out. Oh, and by the way, guys, I was live blogging this on noguiltfangirl.com. So if you want to go and see that, it is live, and it's on the blog. I'll put the link in show notes for you if you want to check it out. But it started out with Alan Horn. He came out, and he's just always so, I don't know, low-key funny and kind of a little sarcastic and cute and adorable, and I don't know why I have a crush on Alan Horn, but I will admit that I kind of do. Is that weird? Probably weird.
Probably a little, but it's fine. It's cool, whatever.
Alan, call me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a happily married woman. But he came out, and he did mention, the Fox merger and stuff, but he also mentioned straight up, he was like, we don't have anything to show you right now for Fox, which I thought was fair. It was also kind of helpful that he set that expectation right off the bat. So
you're not sitting there waiting for news and then you're disappointed in the end.
But I'll tell you what, if they were going to talk about Fox stuff on top of all of this Disney awesome that we got and Pixar awesome that we got, we would still be in there.
Yeah. I believe it.
That would have gone on for forever. Anyway, he kicked off let me just also backtrack real quick. The last two D23 Expos in this live action panel, Star Wars and Marvel were last.
Okay.
They saved the biggie for last. Not this year. They were first.
Nice.
Well, I was like, okay, awesome. They're going to give us Star Wars first, and then they'll end it with Marvel, because we're going to get something amazing from Marvel, because we always do. I'm so spoiled. We always get that. The last two that I've been to, we had these huge Marvel moments, and so I thought for sure that's what that's what they're going to save that, and they're going to come out and they're going to announce that Spider-Man's safe and he's happy in the MCU, and it's all going to be good. Guys, literally the whole 2 hours, I held on to that hope. Spoiler alert, it did not happen. We still have no confirmation on that. But anyway, we started off with Rise of the Resistance, and Kathleen came out. She brought J.J. Abrams out. She brought...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she brought everybody on stage that from the cast that could make it. So that was also awesome for all the fans. We got to see them and, go crazy for a few minutes. And then they gave us a little bit of footage. I don't know if it's online. I haven't gotten to that point yet to see if it's out there. So I'll check it out and find out if it's out there or not. But it was pretty dope. It was pretty awesome. I mean, it starts off kind of just all the old stuff, all the old movies, and some bits and pieces from it, kind of building up the whole story. Because this is the last one we're getting
Ever?
This is the last Star Wars that's planned at this point.
Planned.
Well, they'll branch off and they'll do something else. But this is wrapping up. Well, this is wrapping up the Skywalker saga. Okay. So there are tons of other stories.
Note to readers, listeners. I know very, very little about Star Wars.
You're learning. You're learning. Anyway, so that was really, really cool. At the very end, we got some cool Daisy Ridley shots that like people lost their minds over. So. Yeah, so that's we have. I think that one's going to be good.
Am I going to like it?
Oh, you'll totally love it.
Okay, cool.
Because Kylo's in it.
Oh, well then, yeah, that's what I know about Star Wars. Is Adam Driver?
He was not there. He did not come.
Okay, then I don't feel so bad for not being there.
Yeah. He was like the only notable cast member, I guess, that I would say that wasn't up there. Mm-hmm. So then after that, they flipped right over to Marvel, and I was like, "Whoa, what?
Hey there."
Yeah, and that just signaled to me that we weren't getting something big, something huge. And I felt like Comic-Con, like they did so much at Comic-Con that this was kind of just like patting us on the head and be like,
"Hey Disney,
thanks for coming.
Here's some people."
Yeah. So I honestly felt a little bit let down from what they did. The only thing that was really cool that felt super new was that we have Black Panther 2. We actually have a date. We have nothing else.
Isn't it like super far away?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
May 2022. Yeah, that's what we got. That was the exciting thing. So then they also brought the Eternals cast out on stage.
Okay.
And he did confirm that Kit Harington, I don't know, that was like breaking news.
I saw that. That's exciting.
That was
so
exciting.
now everybody's trying to figure out who he's going to be, right? Okay.
Well,
he's going to be someone awesome.
I think they said his name of his character, but here's the thing. I don't know Eternals. I don't read that comic. And so this is all brand new characters and everything for me. So I don't know. They may have said his name and I just didn't catch it.
Is Eternals, here we go. Here's a dumb question. You ready for Sarah's first dumb question?
I hope I know the answer.
Is Eternals a movie or a series?
A movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew the answer. Like literally, I'm like, don't ask me anything about Eternals.
As soon as I asked it, I was like, well, if it was a series, it would have been on the Disney Plus panel.
Correct.
So, I mean, I kind of knew my answer before I asked.
All right.
I just wanted to clarify. So this is an upcoming movie.
Oh, I lied. Okay, so when Kevin Feige came out on stage, he basically alluded to the Spider-Man drama by saying, I can't remember exactly what wording it was, so I'm not trying to quote Kevin Feige, but basically along the lines of, there's things that we can't confirm yet, or that we can't, he didn't lean one way or the other, but he did say we can't confirm things
just saying, guys,
yet. So we're going to talk about these things that we can confirm, which here's Black Panther. So that was his singular mention of
it was
what
alluded
was going
to.
on. Yeah, okay. that was it. So he did mention it. So finally, the last thing we did get from Marvel was Black Widow.
Yay!
Y'all, this movie looks so bad, eh? Like,
does it really?
Crazy bad.
When is it set? Because that's what the timeline for me though.
It's back in the day. It's back in the day. Do you remember the jokes that Hawkeye and they always talk about Budapest and she's like, oh, just like Budapest, and he's like, we remember things very differently.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how this trailer opened up, was Budapest. And it was like, all right, we're getting the story.
So we're going to get the story. That's cool.
Because as that running joke went on through the movies, I kept, saying, I want to know what happened.
Yeah. Which, again, is just the brilliance of those directors setting it up for us.
I know, they're so good. So we did see that trailer, and it was really cool. And again, it may be out on the internet. I don't know. I haven't looked, but if it is, I will go look. And that made me satisfied. That made me happy. Then we swapped over, and that was it. No Spidey announcement, womp womp. No other movies announced. Nothing else alluded to. That's what we got for now. And at first I was disappointed, and I thought, that was lame. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
But then I had to dial myself back, because that is such... We are spoiled with riches in the Disney community, but in the Marvel community, we have had so many amazing things. But the last 2 D23 Expos that I've been to, I've just been like right in the heart of the Infinity Saga, like building up and ramping up. And so they had so much amazing stuff for us.
Well, and that's where we're at right now. It's like that just wrapped up and all this new stuff.
Is the transition.
So it's kind of like one of those years where it's like, we'll get there, but just start thinking in 2 years.
And honestly, they were blowing me away in the Disney Plus panel.
Yeah.
With the Marvel stuff. So Yeah, I gotta put it in perspective. I just had to put it in perspective. So I had to dial myself back a little bit. So I'm not mad, Marvel. Kevin, we're good. We're good.
We're cool.
All right. So then they went into Walt Disney Studios live action and the Jungle Cruise.
Cruise. Yeah, I've been excited about this since I heard it.
Yes.
But you need to explain to me because I did get on Twitter, guys. I do not Twitter. I don't tweet. I don't. But I got on there to see what was going on, and you said something about the rock in the backside of water, and I need to hear the story.
Yes. Okay. So Dwayne Johnson, first of all, they bring him in on a Jungle Cruise boat.
Stop it. Stop.
He came in.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He rolled across the front of the stage in a Jungle Cruise boat. And then he got off and he slapped hands with all the sorcerers in the front. Which, by the way, Jennifer, I'm giving you a shout out. My friend Jennifer's right there. And she sent me this hilarious post. We both have an affinity for the blue sweater moment, which happened in D23 Expo 2015. And that's when Chris Evans surprised us and came on stage in this very pretty blue sweater. And I actually went up and I talked to Jennifer about it. For those that don't know, the sorcerers get priority seating. Like they're the front 3 rows. So, I mean, she was 3 rows away from the rock. Right?
Stop. I love him. I love you.
Jennifer, don't hate me for this, but I'm going to read it out loud. She sent me a message after this and said, changed my mind. That end song following Tom Holland being 3 feet from me and The Rock not much further, and maybe it's totally worth it. This might be my new favorite D23 moment. Though, if I were that close to the blue sweater, maybe it would still hold the title. Girl, let's be honest. We know it would. We know it. However,
awesome.
The Rock moment was cool. Like, everybody lost their mind. He got a huge, we just loved him. And it was fun because he turned on a little bit of his old, wrestling persona. It's all about him and it's all about, you're here to see me. He was kind of playing that up. And so he gave us, I thought it was a trailer, but then they came back and said they're not really trailers. So yeah. I don't know that these clips are out either for you guys. But I can tell you this. The content that they showed us was hilarious. I mean, if you like The Rock and you like the humor, you're gonna love this.
I'm so excited. Okay,
and you love the Jungle Cruise.
I love the Jungle Cruise, and I love Disney movies about rides.
Yes,
guys, I even loved Haunted Mansion.
I loved Haunted Mansion too. I thought it was adorable.
And then they said they were going to do Jungle Cruise, and I was just super pumped. And then they said The Rock, and I about fell over. So I'm so excited to hear. I mean, I didn't expect anything less, but it's nice to know that it is actually going to be hysterical.
So the clip that we see from the Rock is from Dwayne Johnson. I don't know, maybe he prefers Dwayne now, but anyway. So The
Rock.
The clip that we see is basically all about him. Literally, Emily Blunt's in it for 2 seconds, and it's just him doing all these funny things and these funny lines. And one of them is the moment you've all been waiting for, and he flips a switch and some water comes out. And he's like, the backside of water.
That's amazing.
So I hope that line sticks, please, guys.
You can't have a movie about the Jungle Cruise and not say something about the backside of water.
Yes. I think they know
Dr.
that.
Albert Falls.
Right. I think it's got to be in there. They got to keep it. But anyway, I about fell off my chair at that point, and I was like, just when I thought I couldn't love The Rock anymore, he's now playing because the Jungle Cruise is probably one of my favorite, it's my most sentimental. I love Walt Disney rides ever, right? There's other rides I go to first.
Yeah.
But I will never say no to the Jungle Cruise. I wish I could be a Jungle Cruise. I wish I was that witty and could be a Jungle Cruise skipper. So hats off to all of you skippers out there. I love y'all. Anywho, so that happens. And then he says something basically, just one of those movies where, of course, I have to save the girl because she can't do it herself. And all of a sudden you hear in the back, you hear a voice, and it's Emily Blunt. She's like, wait, what?
That's awesome.
And you hear this honking of a horn, and she comes driving in on a big truck, I think. And she gets off, and she's just like, she was throwing it right back at him. She was hilarious with them. They're back and forth.
They have good chemistry.
It was great.
Good.
It was really great. Yeah, it was really great. So she came on and she was like, that trailer was crap. Where was I? I wasn't even in it. Here's my trailer. And
that's awesome.
So we ended up getting 8 minutes of the Jungle Cruise, and she was hilarious and fabulous in it. But I mean, anyway, and then they had this thing back and forth, and he was like, you think this is a big deal? Do you know the last time I was at D23, I was a demigod? And she was like, psh, I was Mary Poppins. I mean,
that's awesome. Yeah,
okay, they were cute. They were that was probably one of the better moments. One of my favorite moments of this whole thing was that. Then we switched to Maleficent 2, which was also neat. Angelina Jolie came out. Anyway, they all came out on stage and they talked at what being in this movie meant and what that was about. So that was kind of fun to see the cast come out on stage and just give us a little background about what they felt about this movie. And we got to see a clip of the movie where everybody goes to the castle to meet Philip's parents. And I'll tell you what, Angelina Jolie is a fantastic Maleficent. I know people hated on that first movie or whatever, but she's a good Maleficent. She had some good lines in this one.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool.
After that, we went to Mulan, and they gave us a lot of Mulan. And this story, I think, is gonna. First of all, if you love the cartoon, I really feel like you're gonna love this too. And I know people said, "Yeah, but you said that about Aladdin," and I didn't like Aladdin.
I liked Aladdin.
I liked Aladdin too, but other people didn't.
Yeah,
but I love Mulan a whole lot, and I really like the direction that they're going with this movie. The clips that we saw. I ran through all the emotions. I laughed. I cried. I had tears. There's a lot of heart to this one.
Would you say, I've heard people say that they kind of hope it has a Crouching Tiger feel. Does it have, just kind of more like a...
There's a little bit of that.
Okay.
We didn't see it, we didn't see a ton of that. But she did some crazy stunts and was doing some kick-butt action scenes where I was like, yeah, pumping my fist because it looks good. It looks beautiful.
Okay, so I'm really excited. Speaking of Mulan, I just have to tell you, I saw a cosplayer walking around yesterday dressed as a cow. It said Dishonor, carrying a tiny Mushu, and I was like, that is the most perfect ever. So she was Dishonor on your cow. I had to throw that out there because it was that good.
I love that one. After Mulan, they talked a little bit about Cruella, and I think Cruella was one that was like announced and then it was like pushed back.
I need to know more about this because she's one of my favorite villains.
Yeah, and that's what they said was the only other villain that we've ever done a full movie about was Maleficent. Yeah. So we know you like your villains, so we're gonna do Cruella. They didn't get
Disney, if you're listening, put Ursula on that list. Okay, keep going.
So Cruella, they immediately. This is probably the first time I'd really heard anything about it, other than just the date had been pushed back or something like that. And I didn't even realize who was in it, guys. Do you know who's in it?
I do, but now that you've asked me on the spot, I can't remember.
Oh, of course, Emma Stone.
That's right, Emma Stone
and Emma Thompson.
I don't know Emma Thompson.
I'm dead. I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
Wait, who plays who?
Emma Stone is playing Cruella. I don't know who Emma Thompson. Like I said, I don't know. But
Emma Thompson's probably the person that's mean to her. It makes her turn into Cruella.
Maybe so.
I call it.
But Emma Stone wasn't there, but she did send us a little, little video, awesome. Whatever, and so that was kind of cool too. So yeah, that's what we got from them. Then we switched over to Pixar, and this is where things got crazy. Do you remember when they dropped, a couple of months ago, this random, oh, by the way, Pixar has a new movie coming out called Soul, and everyone's like, doesn't it take 5 years for Pixar movies to be made? And why didn't you tell us this beforehand? And Anyway, we got Soul, okay? And so they talked a little bit about it, and I think it's going to be Pixar. It's going to be great.
I know. I have this weird thing with Pixar where they announce a movie and I'm like, that sounds super lame. I'm not interested. And then it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And then I'm buying the t-shirts and I can't stop. I'm a crazy person. That's how I am about this. I'm just I don't know if I'm on board.
I didn't know what it was about at all until they really started talking to it and they explained it. And basically it's a middle school band teacher who's the main character. His name is Joe. And Joe loves jazz, but he's stuck being a teacher because, he has to have a job, right? So he finally gets his big break, and with one misstep, it changes everything.
Oh boy.
And he actually ends up falling into the youth seminar. The youth seminar is where all of our souls are before we get...
He dies?
No.
Oh.
He just falls into this youth seminar. Okay? He's not dead. His soul is just...
I wish you guys could see my face right now.
It's weird. It's Pixar, right?
Okay, all right. Keep talking. Sell me on this.
They're being weird, okay? This is what they do so well. So he ends up there, and he meets a character named 22, who just doesn't want to leave. But she wants to help Joe get back. She thinks the humans are terrible, so she does. So she's not stupid, right? So she doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay where she is. She's not trying to get out and become a person like everybody else is.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay, this is making a little bit more sense.
So Joe, though, of course, is like, I got to get out of here. I have my big break. I want to go do this thing. And anyway, so she's there to help him along the way.
Okay.
9 Inch Nails is making music.
Okay. +1 for this.
Right.
Okay.
A Pixar film with 9 Inch Nails. Who would have thought?
I'm getting on board here.
Right. Questlove is in the movie.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. Felicia Rashad is the mom. David Diggs is the neighbor.
See, this is what happens, guys. I'm all, nah. And then this happens.
This is how they get
Seriously?
you.
Keep going. Keep going.
Jamie Foxx is Joe. And guess who's 22?
Would it just so happen to be the person that we saw at Disneyland the other night with the plaid? Miss Tina Fey herself?
Tina Fey.
Stop. Okay, I'm in. You win again, Pixar.
See how they do us? Yeah. So, and Jamie Foxx and they were they all came on stage. And, so that was, I was in the room with Tina Fey, Jamie Foxx, David Diggs. And David was adorable. He was like, hi guys, I'm standing next to Felicia Rashad. Just don't mind me while I don't know what to say. You know, he was just so cute. I love it when they fangirl.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
That's okay. All right. Fine.
That was when they were like, oh, it's Soul. I was like, because I didn't know anything about it. Which, again, they're not stupid. They know
Well, and it's like Inside Out. When they were talking about Inside Out, I was like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah. And then it was
like,
amazing.
oh, wait a minute.
It was the best movie ever.
It's phenomenal. I watched it on an airplane, and people next to me thought I was a crazy person because I cried through the
entire time. Inside Out was amazing.
Like, audible sobs. It was embarrassing. I was glad I was by myself.
So then they say that they've got to talk about Onward. And this is the one with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
I am excited about this one. I was excited about it just when I heard it was the two of those guys.
Those two together, their personalities, I was interested in, and I was excited about. The story itself, not so much. Like, I'm like, whatever, I'll still go see it, because, Anyway, so I guess basically I got my Marvel moment right here.
Oh, boy. Okay. Give me your moment.
Because they brought Tom and Chris out on stage. And when they did, this entire place...
Which is kind of Marvel, so.
I'm just saying. They're borrowing off of Marvel. Anyway, when that happened, pretty much every person except for us lame people in media, I'm like hooping and hollering. I'm so not a good media person. I was still so excited. I'm so fangirl, guys. It's part of my brand, right? I can
get away with stay on brand, Patty.
But yeah, except for the media, everybody else like jumped up and were standing room and clapping and screaming and cheering. Cool. Like the whole place went nuts, right? And basically, as soon as everyone settled down, and the next time, I can't remember who was speaking, but somebody said Tom's name. As soon as they said his name, and then Tom, everybody went nuts again.
Well, everybody loves him.
Everybody, and I think they wanted to show him some support.
Yeah, because he's had a bad week.
I think he's had a tough week. I mean, I know he has nothing to do with anything that's going on. It's not like he can control any of it, but it's still...
Makes it even harder.
It's still his life and his craft and his future and his legacy is all on the line as to what is going to happen with this character with Spider-Man. Chris Pratt came out and he was like, the story is they're brothers, and Chris Pratt's the older brother, which, he's like, oh yeah, I love this guy, and so I loved making this film about brothers, because it was someone that I love, and I really dig what they did. So then Tom Holland tries to speak, and the whole room freaks out again.
You can't hear him because everybody's just yelling.
Just lost it. People just lost it. Okay. And then he finally, talks. And then the big announcement that they did throw in here was that Julia Louis-Dreyfus is their mom. Yeah. This movie's gonna be great. And they gave us like 8 full minutes.
I did see a clip where basically a unicorn is like treated like a raccoon, and I about lost my mind. Like I've been on board with this one from the beginning.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
We didn't have to sell you. Okay.
No, I'm all like, wait a minute, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, I am there.
So we did get to see 8 minutes of it. It looks beautiful. Looks very
8 whole minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a good story.
I should have camped, guys.
You should have, dude. It was good. I'm excited about what we're gonna see. And then at the end of the clip, they brought them all back up on stage, and Tom had his moment.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, totally. He had this actual real life moment where he said, and I'm going to read what he said because I actually quoted it somewhere. Hold on, sorry guys, I'm not prepared. All right, so then Tom finally gets his moment to talk to us, and he said, "Listen, it's been a crazy week, but I want you to know I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart, and I love you 3000."
No,
right? Like,
I love you too, 3000.
I'm like, guys, I'm doubling it. I love Marvel 6000. Like, I'm sorry, no offense, Morgan Stark, but we got to go bigger than 3000.
Yeah, Morgan, you cute, but
so yeah, wasn't that sweet? It was very, and you got to do it in the sweet little British accent that he has because he's adorable.
Just the best.
So that wrapped up all of the Pixar news, and it also. I think, put a little bow on the Marvel drama. It gave the fans what really we wanted to know something. We wanted to hear something from somebody.
Well, it's like your parents going through a divorce.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know that's really extreme, but it's just it's so, that news itself was just so shocking. It's like, what do you mean? And then you saw the fan art of like, I saw one where he's like holding a churro and like being snapped away into dust, and it's like, no.
Man,
and I don't want to go. Like, it was like awful.
Why they gotta be like that? Why they gotta treat us that way? Breaking our hearts. So yeah, I'm hopeful that they'll fix something somewhere, someplace.
It'll be okay.
I feel like there's so much on the line, in a lot of different perspectives. Now, granted, people, I get it. It's just movies. Like, we're not talking world peace here or anything. But I really do feel like this character and what has happened and how he's become, plus this actor, I really hope that they all figure it out.
Something out.
Yeah. All right, so then Walt Disney Animation Studios comes on, and they popped something out that I hadn't heard of before. Have you heard of Raya and the Last Dragon?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That is the next movie that's coming out from Disney Animation Studios.
Quick question. Original content? Or, okay. I didn't know if it was like a remake or whatever. Okay, cool.
No, yeah.
Cool.
Original. And it's set in Southeast Asia. It's inspired by like all of those countries there.
Fun.
They're still working on it. This is kind of a Disney movie plus a Hong Kong action film wrapped into one. So I was down with that.
Okay.
It sounded, I'm not usually like into like the fantasy type stuff, but this sounds, it's a fantasy-ish thing because there's dragons.
I am. Okay. So I'm here for this.
You're here for I think you'll dig this one. So
Raya sounds like a girl.
She is.
And I'll tell you, I have been waiting for our next princess. I don't think this is a quote-unquote princess film.
She's a warrior.
But I've been waiting for
our next big
girl.
Yeah.
Because my girls, I've got 2 girls. And we
they
love
need
those
it.
girls.
So this is, they showed us some clips, and I was like, all right, it looks cool. It looks legit.
Okay,
it looks
so there
really
were actually, because all I saw was the logo.
Yeah, we saw clips.
Okay, cool.
We saw clips. At the end of the clip,
camped.
At the end of the clip, they said something like, and did you hear, it was just real brief, it wasn't very much, but, a discerning listener might have heard a very familiar voice as the voice of the dragon. And I don't hear voice, like, it went by me too fast.
I do. I'm so good at that game. I could have told you.
You probably could have. They said, we found our Raya in Cassie Steele, and she's amazing, and our Aquafina is Sitsu, the dragon. And I love Aquafina.
Guys, I'm covered in goosebumps.
She came out on the stage.
Stop! She's here!
We need to go, find Aquafina in Disneyland, right?
Let's do that tonight.
Okay. I think it's a plan. I think we need to go stalk.
Oh, guys, I'm not even kidding. I'm covered in goosebumps. I love her so much.
We're not going to stalk you, air quotes, Aquafina, but we wouldn't mind saying hi. Huge fangirls. Huge fangirls.
That's so
I've been
much fun.
saying, all summer long, when it was, the summer of Keanu, I was like, guys, no one's paying attention, but look at all this stuff that Aquafina is pulling out. It's this is her time.
Yeah.
She is, she's nailing everything right now. And if you haven't seen The Farewell yet, it is, a total tearjerker. It's not a feel-good movie. It's not one of those movies. But I will not be surprised at all if there's not some award nominations, including...
Where can I find that movie?
It's in the movie theaters.
That's the other problem. My kids are 3 and 4. I get to go see,
and it's pretty much all in Chinese. So you're reading it.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, you
stuff.
like that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll have to go by myself. My husband won't go with me.
Yeah. I don't think he'd like it, but it was it's an impressive movie, and like I said, I will not be surprised when award season rolls around if she's not up for something.
Cool. Okay, I'm in.
And it's so different from the Aquafina that we all know, with everything else.
I love that range, though.
I think that's the thing is it's suddenly we're going, oh, she's not just funny, she's legit actress. Yeah.
It's like when I first saw Steve Carell in Something Serious, I was like, well, hey now.
Where you been hiding that behind all the jokes?
Right? And Will Ferrell, he did one and I was very impressed with. It was funny, guys.
You're too young for this, but Robin Williams, all he was goofy like Mork and Mindy, whatever, and then he pulls out all these Oscar-winning turns.
I am, because stuff. I grew up with him in What Dreams May Come, which is my favorite movie of all time.
I can't watch that movie. That's awful. I
but
mean, it's just
so good.
It's just one of those
I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's rough.
It's rough. I can't.
It's rough.
Anyway, so then we start talking about Frozen 2, and this was the final movie. Finally, we're getting to the end of here. Frozen 2.
Oh, I I got a preview of this story at lunch, and I'm already sitting here with my arms crossed. Hashtag I should have camped.
They did announce that we're going to actually see the parents in Frozen 2 in a flashback scene, so like don't get super excited, but we can see the parents. They also said Evan Rachel Wood and Sterling K. Brown are in it, and they came out on stage, and they both like were so excited to see themselves because I guess they hadn't seen clips with themselves in it yet.
Okay.
And so when Sterling saw it, he literally was jumping up and he was so pumped.
He's cute. I love him.
Adorable.
Okay.
It was adorable. It was adorable. So then we got this, and I think it's gonna be funny. Then they gave us like a more extended, clip.
Because I had been trying so hard to figure out what the heck this movie is about by that trailer.
I still can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you that Kristoff is attempting to propose.
Yeah!
Because we saw a little scene along those lines, and I was like, you are freaking adorable. I love this. So we'll see what ends up happening. So
That's
then,
awesome. Okay.
then they announced, how much they love their cast, and oh, by the way, they're all here. They all came out, and immediately Kristen Bell starts singing.
Oh my God.
And then Josh Gad starts singing.
Oh.
And then
Don't say it. It's breaking my
they
frozen heart.
all sang, and that was okay. Finally, I was like, all right, I see why you put Marvel at the beginning. It was so that we can have this moment as the end. And I wasn't there in 2013, but at D23 Expo 2013 was the first look at Frozen. And Idina Menzel came out on stage and sang Let It Go, and they had snow falling. And it's the first time anybody had ever heard the song.
That's
and
awesome.
my friends that were there, they're like, top 5 moment of my life was like being in the room when that happened, especially once the movie came out and that song became so
what it is.
Yeah, and so I can now say that I was there when they.
How was the song?
It was a great song. It was
okay.
sweet.
Recreate it for me. I'm just kidding. Let's go, Idina.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I want people to keep coming back to this podcast. So that was it. So that was it. And then basically, I'm dead now. My body's still in D23 Hall D23 because it was amazing.
That's so cool. And so now, I know that like y'all couldn't film and y'all couldn't take pictures, but obviously they did.
Right.
So over the next little time, like, do you think they're gonna have I know they probably won't show some of the secret clips and stuff they showed you, but like, will I get to see Idina and Josh Gad and Kristen Bell sing that song? Like, do you think that's something that they might release?
That
to
I
us,
can't say because
nobody's.
I don't remember. I don't think I've ever seen online the Idina Menzel.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I just need to live with this disappointment.
Possibly.
Okay.
And
all right. I can start my grieving process now.
This is what Disney does, and it's one of those things where I was like, "Oh, don't sleep out overnight. It's not worth it. Like, you don't need to do that, Sarah." And now I'm like going, "Maybe you did.
Maybe you should have.
Maybe you did." So yeah, my overall impressions, everything that I saw, I'm pumped about. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was interesting. They all had good stories to tell, which is like number one importance for me. Is as long as there's a good story and a good cast, then I'm rolling with it. Cool. Like, I can make it happen. So I'm cool with that. Do you have time to talk about what you did today? Okay. All right. We'll talk about that another time.
We will do it.
We'll talk about that another time. Sarah wasn't in the thing, but she went and did some other things on the expo floor, and I'm going to get her perspective as a first timer at D23 Expo.
And it's actually probably good you're waiting, because the reason that I have to leave is because I've got to go.
You got more to do.
To my
all right,
panel,
go.
So.
Bye.
Woohoo!
All right, guys. That's all I've got for this daily-ish Fangirl. This was, again, the second full day of D23 Expo, and the big highlight that I did was that movie panel. And we'll bring Miss Sarah back maybe tomorrow, and she can give us a little update on how she's experienced Expo, because everybody expos differently, and we're definitely doing things very differently from each other. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and give us those 5 stars if you can. Don't forget to subscribe to the No Guilt Fangirls podcast, and we'll be back to Fangirl with you real soon.